Whether or not you want to admit it, blog posts are dying. Yes, I am saying that even as I am actively investing in blog content. Blog posts are dying. Think about how you use the internet every day and how your friends use the internet every day. Chances are you spend way more time watching videos like this one and listening to podcasts and consuming multimedia content than you do actually reading blog posts. I mean, like, basically nobody reads any content online anymore. It is literally all skim and swipe. And now we get this metaverse thing coming out. I don't even know what that means. Are we going to have blogs in the metaverse? I have no freaking idea. But the bottom line is to be competitive with a blog and to ultimately have a blog that stands the test of time against all of this other multimedia content, you need to proactively make your blog posts more engaging. So considering the fact that I am heavily investing into blog post content, even as I'm saying it's a dying breed, dying business, dying trend, I don't know what I'm saying, even as the content model is dying, I guess, I've been researching heavily what can be done to make our blog post content more engaging so that it ultimately stands the test of time against this multimedia content. And that's what I'm going to share with you now with some examples. So here we go. Let me pull up a pull up a URL from my list. And here is the first example. It is polls, in-content polls. So check this one out right here on this site, moneymade.io. If you come down to the bottom, and they've got these at various points in all their other blog posts, you see a little poll, old-fashioned or really old-fashioned, while commodity-backed stablecoins are less popular than fiat-backed stablecoins are growing, some people consider stablecoins backed by gold, such as PAX gold, to be safer than those backed by USD. What would you put your trust in, okay? And then you got a poll here, and you can click the answer, the good old US dollar, right? And it tells you, interestingly, what amount of people clicked on which one. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I think this does a really good job of making the blog post more engaging. With that, they also have another example on this site, and that is quizzes, okay? So as we come down here, just like that last post, we'll see another section, okay? If you invested just $100 in Bitcoin at the beginning of 2017, how much would you have now, right? And you have to guess. Not guess, but make an educated guess. I'm going to go with 454,000 because I know Bitcoin has gone up. Oh, no. It's just $100, so I'm going to go with 44,000. No, holy shit. Wow. That's a staggering number, $100,000 to $454,000. That's crazy, right? So you've got this little quiz in here that gives you the answer and some additional insight. I think this would be cool, incredibly value added to any blog post. Next up is something very traditional and not really difficult to do. That is put comments on the page. Now, I know that with comments, you have to manage and moderate the comments. So that is kind of the downside, and that's why many bloggers disable them, because they get sick of going through the comments. But I have seen on my own posts, the posts that get comments somehow subsequently just keep doing better and better in the searches. I don't know if it's because Google is detecting, interactivity with the blog, or if it's because there's just new content published on the page. But there's definitely a trend of blog posts with comments on them doing better in the searches. So down here, we can see on ProBlogger, they've done it. They've got discuss comments on here, which is one good comment plugin that you could use. You could use the WordPress default plugin. I use Thrive comments because I've got my site on Thrive themes. But that said, this discuss plugin I actually really like as well. And you can see all of the comments on here. And I think with discuss, there's less comment moderation that has to go on because this isn't really so open to spamming. All right, so comments on a blog post do incredibly, incredibly well. Next up, what do I got for you next? Here we go. GIFs. So animated GIFs right here. They're light, right? They don't take up as much space and loading time as a video, and they're pretty engaging in content, and you can pretty much make your own really quickly by going to GIPHY, G-I-P-H-Y, I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is something that I'm planning to add into my content because I can have my editing team make these pretty quickly and simply and stick them in without really much thought or planning that goes into them. It's basically just based on whatever the content says. We can kind of make a joke out of it there. Moving along, we're going to go to an example on my own site, and that is YouTube videos, right? So here I did a review on my autonomous standing desk, the one that I'm using right now. I've owned it for 4 years. I absolutely love it. First I did a written review, and then a couple weeks later, about a week later actually, I came back and did a video review. So putting YouTube videos in there. It can really help, obviously, if you make your own YouTube videos, but I have seen people do this, and we actually have done this a little bit on my site, but not enough to know, to really say that it's a profound impact. Or we don't do it a lot, I guess is basically what I'm saying, is putting in other people's videos. So if you're doing that, if you're going to put in other people's videos, you probably wouldn't want to use that on like an affiliate style post, but a post that's just capturing traffic and satisfying informational search intent that you're monetizing with display ads. Video content of other people would probably be fine in the page, right? Like all you want to do is get that page up higher in the search engines, and if video of other people or from other people is going to help you do that, that would work. And then we've got custom charts and graphics like you are going to see right down here. Okay, so this was a very simple one right here, and it's just on the costs of, I think, living in a motorhome, right? Like where does everything actually go? And what's the big one? Oh, food. Food is 24.2% of their budget. So this is a real simple pie chart that is a lot more engaging than just putting food, 24.2, fuel, 16.5. And there's a number of platforms out there. Canva comes to mind, Canva. I think there's Visu.me that allow you to make these graphs and these charts really, really easily. And you can sign up to those platforms and make them on there and embed it in your content. It does a whole lot better than just kind of list or table data for making things actually engaging. And finally, and this one's really just, I don't want to say really applicable to mobile, but the idea that I've got here is on mobile. So we'll see it, but you can certainly stretch this into desktop. And this is from the Wirecutter, which is now owned by New York Times. And if we put it into mobile, we can see this, right? So we see, I call it expandable content or tabbed content. All right, so the content is fundamentally hidden. There's really not much else on the page. Hey, look, they've got their comments. They've got comments. And yeah, the content is all hidden on the page, and you basically just click to expand it, right? So you could do this type of tabbed content. You probably wouldn't have an expanding table of contents like this on desktop, but on desktop, you could also do some tabbed content that would certainly look good and make things more engaging. So let's just see what this looks like on desktop. I think it looks just like a regular website. Yeah, and then they have the table of contents. So that's pretty cool here. Their table of contents becomes tabbed content fundamentally on mobile. So that is idea number 7 for making your blog post content more engaging. I hope you guys find that insightful. Which ones are you going to add to your blog? Which ideas from this are you going to take away and add to your blog to make it more engaging? Guys, let me know in the comments below.